Steve and I wanted to write something different, having done a more traditional, maybe old-fashioned show and Back to You. We wanted to do something that seemed a little more contemporary, but at the same time we wanted to write about families, which is not contemporary. There's been a million family shows done over the years. So the challenge became, how do you do a family show in a different way? So then we thought, well, maybe this documentary approach is a good start because it enables you to do sort of direct-to-camera interviews, and the whole style of it might just give it a different look. The audience might feel as though they're observing something that they're not necessarily supposed to be observing, a little bit more of a voyeuristic kind of experience. Then what about the families? Well, we've certainly seen the family sitcom where there's the oafish husband and the wife that's got the wooden spoon shaking it at the oafish husband, and like, oh, it's so done. And what is the American family anymore? What is the typical family anymore? So I thought, okay, well, we'll write around that. We'll write several different types of family: traditional family, stay-at-home mom, working dad, 3 kids. Then another common type of American family, the guy in his second family, divorcee, a little bit older with a younger wife, maybe she's got a kid. And then a third type of family, a gay couple who've just adopted a baby, Vietnamese baby in this case. Okay, well that starts to sound interesting, but how are you going to do this where you're jumping from family to family? It's going to feel very disjointed. Well, what if we could find a way to have them all be united and maybe even save that as a big surprise for the end of the show? What if the divorcee is in fact the dad of the wife in the traditional family and one of the guys in the gay couple, and so there's this sort of one bigger family that arches over these other 3 families? Once we came up with that idea, I think we said, okay, well, this feels like a series and will enable us to do a family show, which again feels quite traditional, but it will look different, and the storytelling will be a little bit different. Once we sort of got through all this discussion and actually figured out who our 3 families were and had a loose idea of the structure, at what point in the pilot we reveal that they're all part of one family. The actual writing of it is 2 weeks or something like that, 2 or 3 weeks, but probably 2 months of thinking and plotting before we got to that point. We pitched it to CBS, NBC, and ABC. We wanted nothing to do with the Fox network after our experience with them. So we pitched it to those 3 networks and got a very good response. CBS was interested. They didn't do a lot of single camera comedies, so they were interested but a little bit unsure. NBC also interested, but they had The Office, and they may have been in the early stages of Parks and Recreation at that point, which was also a sort of a mockumentary approach. So they were intrigued, but less intrigued than ABC. All 3 bid on it. ABC wanted it the most. We pitched it to them with a big sort of PowerPoint presentation, and they bought it immediately and aggressively. So and we're quite enthusiastic about it. So we said, well, you always want to be with someone who wants you the most. So we signed up with them, and we're happy to have done so.